While they may be perceived as calm, reserved or shy, mediators have an inner flame and passion that can truly shine. I don't know if that's true. So now let's see what the results say. So, my personality type is a mediator. This means that my mind is more introverted than extroverted. I told you that was going to come up. My energy is more intuitive than observant. That's pretty surprising actually, because I would have thought mine would be observant, since most people tend to think of me as a rational thinker. Oh, even more interesting. So it's 74% feeling for nature. That's odd. I would have thought that I'd be thinking more. But then I did answer negatively to all of the questions about organisation, so maybe it is accurate. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work planning and decision making. I'm a prospector. Don't know what that means. An identity. I am assertive and not very turbulent. So mediator personalities are true idealists, always looking for the hint of good in even the worst of people and events. It's gonna end up reading a lot like what do they call those zodiac things? A horoscope, because the way that these things are always worded is to make you agree with it. So they will list a bunch of positive things and rarely list anything negative. And even the negative things that they do list are going to be common negatives that everybody shares, so that you'll agree with that too. But anyway, always looking for good even in the worst of people and events. True. Searching for ways to make things better. I don't know if that's true. I'm ready to accept ways to make things better. While they may be perceived as calm, reserved or shy, mediators have an inner flame and passion that can truly shine. I don't know if that's true. But you see how it's saying two things at the same time? It's just like a horoscope does. It says, oh, well, you're calm and reserved, but inside, you are all fire and flame. You're basically did it just call me a liar? It did, it just called me it said I'm fake. Compromising just 4% of the population, the risk of feeling misunderstood is unfortunately high for the mediator personality type. Am I misunderstood? Do I often feel like if I'm misunderstood, then surely that's my fault, because I've communicated what I'm trying to make people understand really badly. But when they feel like-minded people tend to spend their time with, the harmony they feel will be a fountain of joy and inspiration. This does read like a star sign. When deciding how to move forward, they will look to honour, beauty, morality and virtue. I hate the word virtue now. People on Twitter and the internet have ruined that word. It used to be a good word. It used to mean something really positive. People have just turned it into this horrible word with really negative connotations to it. But yeah, I would agree. Those are things that I value. Honour, not so much beauty. I don't particularly care how beautiful things are. Morality is something that I do value, and virtuousness is something that I value too. That's not me saying that I'm really, really morally good or virtuous. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that I value those things. It's quite hard to be those things. What we know, we know what we are, but we know what we are, but not what we know what we are, but know not what we may be. Horrible phrasing. Who did that? At their best, these qualities enable mediators to communicate deeply with others. I'd say I'm a pretty good communicator in general. Easily speaking in metaphors and parables. My ex-wife used to get really annoyed at the fact that I would often speak in metaphors. She used to hate it. So yeah, I guess that's true. The strength of their visionary communication style. Again, I'm not gonna accept this word visionary. Nobody is a visionary. The strength of their communication style lends itself well to creative works. And it comes as no surprise that many famous mediators are poets, writers, and actors. Mediators' ability with language doesn't stop with their native tongue either, as with most people who share the diplomatic personality types, they're considered gifted when it comes to learning a second or third language. Eu falo português, isso muito verdade. Isso frase para minha namorada. Eu te amo. Just in case you're unsure, I was speaking Portuguese there. It wasn't a flex, it was just me agreeing with what the test says. Unlike their extroverted cousins, mediators will focus their attention on just a few people, a single worthy cause. Spread too thinly, they'll run out of energy and even become dejected and overwhelmed by all the bad in the world that they can't fix. That's a bit loaded. I can agree with this, and I'll sort of expand on it. I do agree that I prefer to focus my attention on a few people. I don't have many friends, but I have 5 very close friends, and I prefer to keep it that way. I don't like big crowds of people, and I'm not overly enamored with the idea of mass attention either. Spread too thinly, they'll run out of energy. Yeah, if I have to focus, I am a big believer in prioritizing things and dealing with one thing at a time. because if you have to deal with all of them at the same time, it becomes overwhelming. That's just simple mental management, in my opinion. But dejected and overwhelmed by all the bad in the world that they can't fix. I'm not trying to fix all the bad in the world. I am also not an idiot. I can't fix all the bad in the world. I can't even fix most of the bad in the world. I can't even fix a tiny amount of the bad in the world. It's impossible for one person to do. So no, that's not true. This is the sad side for mediators' friends who will come to depend on their rosy outlook. I don't think my friends would call me rosy. Maybe it doesn't come through in the work that I do here on YouTube, but I tend to have quite a dark sense of humour, and I'm pretty sarcastic too, so I don't think my friends would call me rosy. Let's look at strengths and weaknesses. Idealistic. Mediators' friends and loved ones will come to admire and depend on them for their optimism. I am pretty optimistic. Their unshaken belief that all people are inherently good, perhaps simply misunderstood. I actually have the opposite opinion. I think all people are inherently bad. This is why we have to teach kids how to behave. Kids aren't born good. Like, they start off as little monsters that just want to destroy everything in sight, and they want to terrorize everybody in sight. And we have to teach them how to behave. We have to teach them what the rules are. So I actually believe that humans start off bad and then get turned good. Open-minded and flexible. I like to think so, but it's not really for me to decide. I guess people who know me, or even you guys that watch my videos, I guess you guys can tell me if I come across as open-minded and flexible, because I don't think it's something that I can really say that I am. I think that's for other people to judge. Very creative. Everything that I enjoy doing is creative, so passionate and energetic? Nah, that's completely untrue. I'm passionate, yeah, about things that I enjoy. Energetic? Nah, I'm not. Dedicated and hardworking? That is debatable. Weaknesses? Too idealistic, too altruistic. Those aren't weaknesses, those are like humble brags. Oh, yes, one of my weaknesses is that I sometimes I am too altruistic. I think about other people too much. They're not weaknesses, that's a humble brag. Dislike dealing with data? Nah. As a man of science, I love dealing with data. In fact, I've done 2 videos dealing with data in the past. Take things personally? Not really. If I know you really well and I respect you as a person and your opinion, then yes. What you say will have an incredible amount of weight. Romantic relationships. This should be interesting because I have a string of failed ones and one current good one. Mediators are dreamy idealists, and in the pursuit of the perfect relationship, this quality shows strongest. No, because I'm not a moron. I don't believe that the perfect relationship exists. Never short on imagination, mediators dream of the perfect relationship, forming an image of this pedestaled ideal that is their soulmate. No, that is an incredibly unhealthy way to think. Never put anyone on a pedestal, no matter who they are. We're all on the same pedestal, or we're all on none. There is no one person is higher than the other. It's just such an unhealthy way to live life. Don't do it. Yes, I'm not going to read the rest of that because it's still talking about being idealistic and pedestals and stuff, which I completely disagree with. Prospecting types are always looking to establish a new relationship or improve an existing one. They need to be sure they found someone compatible. Yeah, I suppose. Isn't that everybody? I mean, what kind of idiot doesn't bother trying to figure out if they're compatible with someone? They just stay with them anyway. No one does that. In dating, mediators will often start with a flurry of comparisons, exploring all the ways the current flame matches with the ideal they've imagined. Well, I've just talked about how I don't agree with that mentality, so that's definitely not true of me. This progression can be a challenge for a new partner. Actually, I think that this kind of implies that I'm difficult to be with in the beginning, but it gets easier over time. I think it's the opposite. I think I'm very easy in the beginning and I get more difficult as time goes on because I can be quite a disagreeable person. There's a lot of fluff here, prone to internalize and even inject his statements of facts. No. Few personality types are as poetic and kind-hearted as mediators. Thanks. 100% true. Mediators can easily be tripped up in areas where idealism and altruism are more of a liability than an asset. Yeah. What it's essentially saying is, if you're a mediator, you get taken advantage of. And I think that's probably true. It's happened to me in the past. It'll probably happen to me again in the future. So that's it. That's everything. So that is the Myers Briggs personality test. If you want to do it yourself, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Then you can give it a go and you can find out what your personality type is. Just remember to take this whole thing with a pinch of salt because it's not accurate and it's not scientific. It's just fun.